It used to be hard to find the exact auto parts you needed, and that meant spending a lot of time at swap meets. It's a different game now when you can order exactly what you need from eBay Motors. They have 122 million parts, so you can always find the right fitment. Spend less time searching and more time building with the eBay Motors app or visit ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Holidays are here, and so is fashionable fitness. Gift yourself a Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G, a phone that folds in half to literally stand on its own. Pair it with the Galaxy Watch 4 for ultimate wellness and wow factor. Check health stats, flex personal records. Over 90 activities can be tracked, like biking, swimming, golfing, and more. Invest in yourself with tech made to crush goals. Holidays open up with Galaxy. Shop it all at Samsung.com. 5G connection and availability may vary. Check with carrier. Products sold separately.
Hey everyone, this is the Almost World Podcast. Bringing to you mind-blowing interviews with guests from all over the world. So settle down, relax, and enjoy the show. Oh yeah, by the way, if you like the podcast, please support Elmo's World Podcast on Patreon. Your support is what helps the podcast improve more and more. Pablo Neves is from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil originally, since he was 14, but he's moved since to another state. And he is now 25 years old and he's writing a fictional book. And he is interested in a lot of stuff, and I think that we could have a good conversation about books, video games, and maybe sitcoms. So, Pablo, I want you to introduce yourself and then answer the question: what's your favorite book and why?
Okay. Okay. So my name is Pablo. I'm 25 years old. As you said, I'm from Rio de Janeiro, but now I live in another state. And I'm writing a fictional book. And my favorite book, I think, is The Green Mile by Stephen King.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's I don't know if that's because it was one of the first Stephen King stories that I've ever read, but it really is really captive. It's really shows us like a very touching story
Mm-hmm.
that takes place in days where there was a lot of racism and a lot of cruelty in the world. So it shows us like a spark of hope in the middle of all the insanity that used to reign in those times.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's why I like the book a lot.
Yeah, and I definitely agree about that books have that special powers when it comes to making us feel a little less uncomfortable, and and I can see that actually with the rise of ebooks and uh, audiobooks, it seems that nothing can defeat the normal and regular books, or the paper books, it it's just that it's different when you can hold it and you can smell the pages, because there's something about it that we as humans feel more connected to what we are reading compared to just reading it on a Kindle or an ebook on your phone, right?
Yeah. It's when you have the physical book, it's totally something else. Like, you not only the smell and the feeling, but you feel like you're actually uh taking the story in, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like because on Kindle you can't see the thickness of thickness. That's how you say it, in English, right? Thickness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That you can't see the thickness of the book when you read on a Kindle or PDF file. But if you're reading an actual book, you feel like you're absorbing the content of the book, and it's just the book design by itself already is already more it invites you better than than an ebook, because there's the cover, and I know you can't judge a book by its cover, but I love to have the entire physical book on my hand and see the cover and the back cover and all that. So yeah, I guess that's why I like physical books better than digital books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and why did you decide to start writing a book, anyways? I'm really curious.
Wait, can you repeat that?
Yeah, why did you start writing a fictional book?
Ah, uh, actually, since I was 15, I I mean when I was 15, I played a video game on Xbox 360 called Alan Wake, and it's about this horror writer who has to face his own creations, so he has to fight them, and it's a suspense video game. And in the beginning, right at the beginning of the game, he quotes Stephen King. I forgot what is the quotation now, but he quotes Stephen King, and then I liked the way the game develops itself,
Mm-hmm.
and I I started to take uh, interest for reading stories, horror stories, and I looked for Stephen King, and I fell in love with his stories. And at the beginning of my like not career, but at the beginning of this dream of mine, I wanted to write only horror stories. But then I found out that I don't know how to scare people. So uh, I started to move to other genres of literature like fantasy, adventure, friendship, and the reason why I want to write a book is because I feel that is the only thing that I feel like I can do, and is the only thing that I feel that I want to do, because I I don't see myself working as a employee, and I don't see myself taking orders from my boss or whatever, and uh, like I feel that my creativity is the my strongest point, my strongest spot, and I think that I should, since I have a very creative mind. I mean, I'm not trying to be cocky or whatever, but since I have a very good creative mind, I feel like I need to share this with the world, and even make some people feel better in their moments of despair, or like any in any situation, or change people, or make people more empathic, make people have more empathy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree because to think of yourself in a office or a normal 9 to 5 job, to some people that's unimaginable, and someone who is creative and left-brained, who is someone that has requires a more a freer environment, and where they can just do what they need to do when they're inspired to do it, and It's nice to mention that you got your inspiration from the book from a video game, right?
Yeah, and uh, like I think that any type of art is welcome, as long as they really because like I think that art is kind of particular to each person, but I think that if the story captivates you, if the story makes you, like cry or laugh or enjoy the experience, I think it is already a good art, art piece,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And art is many different things, but for you, I would like to know what how you write your fiction book. Um, do you create a world in your mind, and then how does it work?
Okay. Well, my stories usually go. Sorry for the stuttering. Just sometimes I stutter, but uh, at first I have an idea, which I think is kind of a common spot is to have the initial idea. So I have an initial idea, and then I start to develop a story to get to that point where I developed, where I imagined. So, for example, I imagine um, I imagine let's say that you're on the street, and there's this big tree that whoever goes through that street, uh, you they start dying. People start dying, and so like I have that image in my head that people who cross, I mean, who go through that street, they die, and there's a big tree. So I'm like, what if the tree has poison, gas? But what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't affect everybody? What if it affects just a small amount of people, but enough for an investigation take place,
Mm-hmm.
So I start to develop from that idea. So and my plot is like, uh, because some people start in the middle, right? Some people start in the ending, but my plot goes beginning until middle and until the end. And I just type whatever comes to my mind to give progression to the scenes, So,
Mm-hmm.
for example, if, whatever comes to my mind first, I will type it down. And if there are a lot of ideas coming up, like to give progression, I just try to how can I say, to save these images in my head, in order for me to remember them when I'm typing, because they they keep coming and coming and coming. So I'm like, I have to stay kind of like, how do you say, focused. You have to use a lot of focus when you're writing a story, especially because uh, when you're like you're sitting down in front of the screen, and uh, like laziness comes, the urge to do something else comes, uh, your ghosts, your demons come, and like everything, like you feel tired, you feel like you don't want to do it. And so like I think that writing is a job just as any other job. And people who don't recognize that, well, that's because they have never tried to write a whole book and make it acceptable for public. So I I will put my, how do you say in English? I will put my foot down to say that writing is a job as any other job.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And um, it's been awesome talking to you about books. But why video games though? I know video games can be addicting, but for you as an individual, what are video games to you?
Video games. I think that, I mean, a lot from of my inspiration comes from video games. So there are two types of people in the literature world that are the type of people who have all that grammar and language knowledge uh, and a lot of grammar rules and you know but they don't know how to write a good story, and there are people who have more um, who have a more visual mind because they come from video games, but they never try to write a book and they don't know how to transform a scene that they have in their image into a scene in the book. So I think that I come from this side of people who are more visual because I have played video games since I was like 5 years old or 4 years old, I guess. So they serve to me as a source of inspiration, especially because you are participating. Like I know that that when you watch a movie or when you read a book, you are participating, but they work in different ways. Like a movie works as a movie and a book as a book. In a video game, they have that special quality where you can actually like control the the climax of the story, right? And I think that if people really paid attention, they would find out that the video games world is a very uh, beautiful world, and they, of course, there are. I mean, just as any type of art, there are uh, piece of crap, in every art,
Yeah,
like when you put a toilet and you say that is art. No, that isn't that is art, and so like there will be pieces of crap in video games too. There will be pieces of crap in books, you know like, hey, 50 shades of gray, and there will be a lot of pieces of crap, but if you really dig in, you will find uh, your, not only your taste, like you will relate uh, to people who have the same taste as you. You will find your own taste, and you will find yourself too, because you will relate to the situation that the characters are going through. So I think that video games is as just as literature is a job as any other job. Video games is a form of art as any other form of art, and I think that if you really dig in, if you pay attention, you will find not only your taste and people who have the same taste as you, but also you will find yourself because you will relate to characters.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and when you say find yourself, what do you mean by what? How you find yourself in video games?
Uh, like as I said, like wait, how did I say? Oh yeah, I think that the character, depending depending on the situation, of course, and depending on the personality of the character, you will be able to like find yourself. When I say find yourself, I mean to find uh to find your your personality in that same circumstances, and you will try to imagine how you would react. What would you do? For example, you have a person who has depression, and the person who's reading the book has depression, and the person in depression finds this psycho guy who wants to kill them, and uh, like the usually depressive people are always like, how can I say, they keep having uh, thoughts of uh, how do I say this, like self-destructive thoughts, right? They keep thinking about killing themselves and all that. So if a person who's reading the book has depression,
We're 25 already, right? But so what are you planning in the future? What course are you're going to college, right? So what course are you gonna take?
I'm gonna take the course in here, in Portuguese we call letters. So it's a literature, language, and a little bit of history. I don't know how that's called in English. Maybe linguistics, I guess, or
Mm-hmm.
arts. But yeah, that's the course I'm planning to take. But I will do that. I will do the exam next year, because this year I'm really focused on writing the book. And I mean, I'm not like writing the book all the day, like through all the day, but I'm writing as much as I can during the days, because I mean, I really want this. I really want to be a full-time writer, if that's possible. And there is actually this contest that's gonna take place next month, where the winner, like you send them your novel, and the winner will get 20,000 Brazilian money, and
Wow,
it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, I can't even imagine. I wish I would win.
it's awesome. Yeah, and I want to talk to you something about the politics in Brazil because it's rare for me to talk to someone from your country, and I hope
uh,
you could give us the political the weather there, the political weather.
okay. Uh, like political issues. I think that, like, I have never been exactly too much involved with politics. Actually, I've never liked it. I've always found that a very boring subject. But uh, uh, I see myself as a conservative. Uh, but because nowadays, when you say I'm a right wing person, is almost like you're saying, like, it's almost like you're saying that, for example, you're a dictator or something. People, I mean, it's not like you're saying this, but that's how people understand to
Mm-hmm.
be, when you say that you're right wing. So I just say I'm conservative. But if I see that my candidate is doing is throwing the shit at the fan, if I see that he's doing that, I mean, doing a bad politics, a corrupt government, uh, of course, I will not vote for him anymore. I will not root for him anymore. So I voted for a conservative candidate. Well, at least he talked about himself. Sorry. Okay. At least he talked about himself as being a conservative, but then he started, this crappy government, a very corrupt government, and he when people asked him about the thousands of deaths in China, he was like, "So what?" You know. So I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't have voted for that guy. But back then, like, during the elections, the only arguments that the leftists or the central, the only arguments that they had based on lies, based on pure no expectation, no, hold on, based on pure suppositions, like when you suppose something. The only argument that they had was that the president is racist and all, and and homophobe and all that crap that I already heard a lot of times. Those were the only arguments that they had, which are not exactly arguments in my opinion, but because uh, the Bolsonaro is the name of the president. Uh, Bolsonaro isn't racist, isn't homophobe, but he is corrupt, and we
Mm-hmm.
see that now. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so as I see that he's doing a corrupt government, I can say that I regret voting for him,
Mm-hmm.
but I am not. I'm still a conservative. Because he is not a conservative anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to the left wing, like slowly. But anyway, uh, I think that people should, if people respected each other and sat down to talk without, I think the political scenario in Brazil would be different. But nowadays, I mean, it's easy for me to say that if people talked, it would solve things. It's easy for me to say, but because nowadays it's even that has become hard to do, because some people have ideas that uh, 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 they are not tolerable. Like I can't tolerate some ideas. For example, I don't know if this is political or not, but like I do not agree that uh, uh, pedophiles are only sick people. I don't agree with that. Or like there are more than two genders, or that kind of stuff. I don't agree with that. So uh, I think that even if people sat down, there would be some sort of uh, rivalry. I mean, they would become rivals. But if anybody wants to sit down and talk to me and share their ideas and all that, as long as you're not a pedophile or a Nazi, or as long as you're not bad, I'm willing to listen to you. I mean, anybody out there, anybody out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what does it mean to be a conservative or a liberal on the left side in Brazil? What differences in policies do you want? Can you be specific about that?
Okay. Okay, I'll try to be specific, but I don't have a lot of knowledge on that, so I'll just say what comes to my mind. Uh, well, being a conservative is have a good common sense, like drugs are bad, you know. Uh, what else? You can't live a life without God, you know, or or being fat is bad, you know, all that kind of stuff. So like, because leftists are always trying to break break things, and they are always trying to make people see things uh, as they see, but they don't who have other opinions, uh, like for example, I don't know, like respect the family, for example, men and women, and people who say, hey, uh, you're being a homophobe. I don't agree with them, but I respect their opinions. I don't remember who said that, who said something about, I might not agree with your ideas,
Mm-hmm.
but I will defend your right to say them until the end. Who said that? I'm trying to remember. But anyways, being conservative is having principles and morals, and uh, you know because like people are trying to do everything opposite nowadays. It's like, hey, drugs are good.
Mm-hmm.
uh what else? What else? Yeah, life has no meaning at all. But like, if they only said that, and were okay with saying that, it would be it would be one thing. But people just want to shove it down other people's throats. And that's the part where I don't agree. But conservative for me is that, respect principles, respect morals, respect religion, no matter what religion it is. you know uh and I think that not only principles and morals, but also respect. Because there's a lot of lack of respect nowadays. And okay, so conservatism for me is represents respect, morals, and principles. Uh, so how can I say? Uh, Conservatism for me is a way, uh, is the best way for for a person to live their life, live their life, yeah, their life. And like, I don't because in I don't know if this is a conservative view or just my point of view, but I think that I wouldn't be able to uh I wouldn't be able to go on living my life if I didn't believe in God, for example. But that's me. uh, uh and I don't think that, uh, for example, if you have an idea or opinion about something, I think that you gotta respect other people's, not only other people's principles and morals, but respect, their points of view. So, uh, conservatism for me is uh, having, how can I say, having a good common sense. That's how I would put it. Like, I don't know, like, what else. Oh yeah, the thing that I told you before the comments. When I said that fat is bad, I didn't mean that it is a conservative view, but it's my view. The thing about being fat. But anyway, I think that conservative is, was I don't have I can't remember any other things to say besides having morals and principles, and respect, of course. Like, I may not agree with you, or you may not agree with me, but we gotta respect each other's opinion, and treat each other as mutual respect, and you know as human beings, uh, who are, like, we have different reasons, we have different ideologies, we have different meanings for life, but we gotta respect each other, because at the end we're just down to dust, like, well, I mean, we're in the end in the end uh, all of this, material stuff, it's just, you know uh, luxury, like, everybody will end up in the same place. So I guess that's conservative for me, to respect. I mean, because like, I was reading a conversation on the group on Facebook, and there was this guy who said that there are a lot of stupid atheists, and I don't think atheists are stupid. I don't think that uh, you know I don't think that people who have a different view than mine is stupid, but stupidity is when you don't respect, you know, and and that's something that as a conservative I believe in, because uh, if you if you don't uh, I don't know, I think that the basis, the source of relationships and debates and discussions is all it all starts with mutual respect, you know. That's how I believe that conservatives are, you know. I mean, there are some stupid conservatives, of course, you know. I'm not saying that there aren't. There are a lot of stupid conservatives. Actually, uh, like a lot of, you know, for example, conservatives that are stupid. Like a person who wants to shove it down people's throats that they will only uh, for example, they're only good if they believe in God. You know, I don't believe in that. I think people are good regardless of regardless. I mean, it doesn't matter their religion or their their visions on life. I think that uh, uh, people are good, but they are flawed. You know, they're flaw. They have flaws. So it would be very immature of me to say, oh, uh, that person is stupid. Why? Because she doesn't agree with me. You know, I mean, she or he. So I think that yeah, that because I have never been asked this question before about what I believe conservatism is. So, but for me, that's the respect, principles, morals. You know, because uh some people lose it. You know, during their lifetime, like they what for whatever reasons, you know, having respect for life. I think that's the basis of our society's foundation. You know, having respect for life.
Mhm. Yeah, it's really good for you to say that, man. And one last question, for you as an individual, what is the best way to make a good difference or a good change in the world, knowing that there are people who might be disrespectful and there are differences in views and everything. Uh, how?
Oh, okay. The difference. I think that uh, you gotta live according to your conscience, and I stuttering. Sorry. Okay, let me come down. Okay. I think that uh, to make a difference, you just gotta be, man, a, g- you just gotta follow your conscience. You don't need to you don't need to be a freaking Michael Jackson. You don't need to be a Michael Jackson to change the world. You can do by simple acts, simple gestures of kindness. For example, treat your family uh, and your closest ones, and also other people with respect. Uh, be fair. When I say be fair, I mean like if people are treating you unfairly, uh, uh, treat them back, but not unfairly, but uh, how can I say? Be politely rude with people. You know what I'm talking about? Like, don't treat them back with disrespect, but stand your ground, but be fair. Don't bully people uh, stuttering. It started. Okay, hold on. Okay. So don't bully people. Be fair with people. Be kind. Be generous. And for example, when I have a little, how do you say, a little money left on the pocket, like a spare money, right? When I have a spare money, and I know I'm not gonna need that money, I'll give it to people who are, who need, on the street or whatever. So try to be. I'm not saying that people should be saint, because that's almost impossible, if not impossible. But be a person who will add, happiness, or at least comfort in other people's lives. Be a person that when people remember you, they will have a good memory of you, a good image of you, and I'm not talking about having money. I'm not talking about having material things. I'm talking about your character, uh, your humanity. I think that's like, being humane, uh, not mundane. Wait, mundane? I mean, not don't look for the things in the world, but look for the good side of, yourself, and share that with people. You know, that's what I think, that you can make a difference in the world.
So that's the end of it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This is your host, Elmo Ador Jr. And thank you for listening in. And please subscribe. Please follow us on Facebook. Please follow this. Please. Thanks.
It used to be hard to find the exact auto parts you needed, and that meant spending a lot of time at swap meets. It's a different game now when you can order exactly what you need from eBay Motors. They have 122 million parts, so you can always find the right fitment. Spend less time searching and more time building with the eBay Motors app, or visit ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Meet CocoVia Memory Plus, with some of the most researched plant-based nutrients harnessing the natural compounds within the cocoa bean. To improve memory and brain function in just 8 to 12 weeks, try CocoVia Memory Plus capsules. Order today at cocovia.com. That's COCOAVIA.com, and use coupon code CCV20 to get 20% off your order. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease.